Jackie, for the other side of the budget coin, we're joined now by Republican Congressman from Missouri and the ranking member of the House Budget Committee, Jason Smith. He knows a little something about these budget negotiations. He also serves on the House Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, thank you very much. I'd like to start right off the top with what your colleague on the other side of the aisle, Congressman Price, was just accusing you and your fellow Republicans of not cooperating enough. Your reaction?
Yeah, why would Republicans want to cooperate in bankrupting the economy? Why would Republicans want to cooperate in raising taxes on working class Americans? Why would Republicans want to cooperate in rewarding Democrats' political friends, allies, and donors? That's exactly what this $4.3 trillion spending bill that they're trying to pass is doing. It's a tax and spend socialist dream list. And so no Republican would want to cooperate and be a conspirator in this process. So the fact that they're wanting to continue to spend trillions and trillions more dollars on the backs of working class Americans, we're not going to cooperate with that.
Congressman, Jackie and your colleague, Congressman Price, were talking about, is this about policy or purely numbers? How do you see it?
Now, Griff, this is something that not a lot of people's talking about, and we need to give it more discussion. The numbers, for example, they can use budget gimmicks within the budget operating process, that they can bring a $4.3 trillion bill down to a $1.5 trillion bill by just changing the sunsets and years and when it phases in. But if they keep those same policies, in fact, it may only be a $1.5 trillion bill for a year to 2 years, but in fact, over a 10-year budget window, it could cost $6 to $7 trillion. So when Representative Jayapal says it's all about the policies and not the numbers, she wants to keep everything that's within the current $4.3 trillion bill, but just change the sunset so it's only 1 or 2 years and phase it in over a period of time so that they actually get a $7 to $8 trillion bill, which is actually much worse than what it is right now.
Take me, Congressman, to Tuesday in this expected vote. How will your fellow Republicans approach this, and how will you vote?
You know, I'm quite disappointed with the agreement that came out of the Senate. In recent history, any kind of debt limit increase has always had some kind of spending reforms. This bill does not. I will be voting no on it. I will be encouraging my colleagues in the House voting no on it. We have a fight before us right now. Before we allow an increase in the debt limit, we need to have spending reforms. The last thing we need to do is to give a larger runway for Democrats to continue to spend trillions of dollars of working class tax dollars.
Congressman, you alluded to Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's deal that he cut to get, obviously, this extension to save us from that fiscal cliff. Are you critical then of what Senator McConnell did?
There's a process through reconciliation that the Democrats are using right now to spend trillions of dollars. They can also do that by increasing the debt limit, and they're spending by themselves. They should increase the debt by themselves. The fact that we need to discuss, it's the Democrats who are wanting all this spending. They're coming up with crazy ideas. Like my counterpart on the House Budget Committee wants to increase the debt limit a gazillion dollars. That's what he said. I want to increase a gazillion. You have other Democrats that's wanting to create a gold coin from the U.S. Treasury that's worth $1 trillion. Their unrealistic approaches at increasing the debt limit shows that they do not have any respect for Americans and their tax dollars.
Well, let's talk about what will you work with the Democrats on? What is your side willing to accept?
Well, right now, there's over $490 billion of unobligated COVID dollars. That could be used right there instead of as a pay-for the debt limit. I sent a letter to Speaker Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, over 3 months ago, before the debt limit expired in July, asking for various fiscal spending reforms. Like I said, in every recent history, anytime you increase the debt limit, there's some kind of spending reforms. That's all we're asking. Work with us in spending reforms before you increase the debt.
Congressman, I read your commentaries from time to time, and I found your last one very interesting. You essentially said that what Speaker Pelosi began was a bipartisan negotiation that turned into a hostage situation. Then you say, ultimately, she shot the hostage. What do you mean there?
She sure did, Griff. You know, it started out with an infrastructure package that was being negotiated with Biden, Democrat and Republican senators, House members. And then they could have passed this back in July. But instead, Nancy Pelosi held Biden's feet to the fire and stood with the progressives and said, we will not take a vote on this infrastructure package unless we get our separate $4.3 trillion reconciliation package. And so she's held those two bills hostage. And then she promised to have a vote last week. But guess what? She couldn't have a vote because she didn't have 218 people that would stand with her. Because of that hostage negotiation, she killed the infrastructure package that was supposed to be voted on last week, according to her own legislative crisis that she created, Griff.
And we shall see what happens this coming Tuesday. Congressman Jason Smith, ranking member of the House Budget Committee, thank you for taking time. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you, Griff. Take care.